You are a human. You wake up every day needing things: food, water, a place to sleep, some level of safety, some level of comfort, some level of control over your life. And to get those things, you need resources.
Okay.
Resources aren't just money, they're time, energy, skills, and raw stuff like wheat, metal, and water. Most people hear the word economics and instantly think of charts, graphs, endless debates on TV, and numbers so confusing they might as well be alien. Big words that make you nod politely while your brain quietly screams. But here's the thing. Economics isn't complicated. Economics is just the system we use to decide who gets what and how. That's it. Not the academic equations you saw in high school. Not the TV experts arguing over policy. Just the simple, messy, beautiful way humans make decisions about resources. And by the end of the next 13 minutes, you're going to understand how the economy really works. Because it's not some abstract force. It's alive in every choice you make. Scarcity. The starting point. Let's start small. You want something. Maybe a sandwich, maybe the new sneakers everyone is talking about. That desire is natural. It's human.
Oh my God!
But here's the problem.
What?
There isn't enough of everything for everyone. That's called scarcity. Scarcity is the foundation of all economics. Imagine a tiny island with only one coconut tree. If two people want that coconut, someone goes home empty-handed. There's no magic to make more appear instantly. Scarcity forces choices. And where choices exist, economics begins. Because every time you choose one thing, you give up another. Buy the sandwich, and that money isn't going toward a new book. Spend an hour working, and that's an hour you can't spend playing video games. This trade-off is called opportunity cost, and it's sneaky because it's not just about money, it's about what you give up. Even when you don't notice it, you are making economic decisions every single day, choosing what to eat, what to wear, whether to work overtime, or scroll TikTok instead. These are all economic choices. The economy isn't somewhere out there, it's inside your life, shaping your every decision. Self-sufficiency versus specialization. Now imagine you're completely alone. You grow your own food, build your own shelter, make your own clothes, and even try to craft your own tools. This is called self-sufficiency. On the surface, it sounds appealing. You're in total control, no one telling you what to do.
I don't know.
But very quickly, reality hits. Making everything yourself is exhausting. You're probably not a great cobbler, so those shoes you made might fall apart after a single walk. And don't even get started on the rice you're growing. Maybe you water it too little or too much. Humans realize something important very early on: specialization. We're not equally good at everything. Some people are natural builders, some are farmers, some are skilled at crafting tools. When people focus on what they're good at, productivity increases. Productivity simply means producing more output with the same effort. A person specializing in farming can grow far more rice than if they tried to split their time between farming, building, and shoemaking. Once people start specializing, something amazing happens. Trade. You make something you're skilled at and exchange it for something someone else makes better than you. Suddenly, everyone benefits. You get better shoes, your neighbor gets better shelter, and life becomes easier for both of you. This voluntary exchange is the foundation of markets. And here's the key insight. Markets are not just physical buildings or shopping centers. They are interactions. Anywhere people exchange value because it improves their lives, that's a market. Every trade, every deal, every purchase is part of a web of exchanges that makes society more efficient and productive. Specialization in trade turns scarcity into opportunity, and markets are the stage where all of it happens. Without these simple ideas, modern economies, groceries, factories, online shopping would be unimaginable. Money, the ultimate tool. But direct trade has a problem. Imagine this. You spent weeks building a sturdy little shelter, and you're hoping to trade it for rice with your neighbor. Only problem? Your neighbor doesn't need a shelter. Maybe they already have one. Meanwhile, the person who does have rice might not want a shelter either. This is what economists call the double coincidence of wants. The unlikely situation where two people each have exactly what the other wants at the same time. Without solving this, trade becomes frustrating, slow, and inefficient. People end up hoarding, or worse, going without what they need. Enter money. Money is not wealth. It's not a treasure chest of value hidden under your bed. Money is a tool, a clever invention humans created to make trade work. It serves three main purposes. It's a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Instead of needing someone to want your exact goods, you can sell what you have for money, and then use that money to buy what you need from anyone else. Suddenly, the system works, even when needs and wants don't line up perfectly. Think of money like the glue connecting thousands, even millions, of trades. It allows individuals, businesses, and entire societies to coordinate complex economic activities productivity without the awkwardness of barter. You can pay a farmer for rice, a carpenter for a chair, and a teacher for lessons, all with the same money, all at the same time. Without money, society would grind to a halt. People would waste time trying to find the exact person who wants what they have. With money, we can trade freely, plan ahead, and build economies that are bigger, faster, and more efficient than anyone could manage alone. Prices and incentives. Once money exists, prices appear. Prices are not random, they are signals. A high price says, scarce, everyone wants this, maybe produce more. A low price says, abundant, not many people care, maybe produce less. Prices are like little messages zipping through the economy, helping millions of people make decisions without anyone being in charge of the whole thing. This is called the price mechanism. And then there are incentives. Humans respond to rewards and punishments. If something pays well, people do more of it. If something is punished, people avoid it. Incentives explain behavior better than intentions. Always remember this: prices plus incentives equals behavior. Supply and demand. Let's get a bit more technical, but keep it simple. Demand is how much people want something at different prices. Supply is how much producers are willing to make at different prices. Where supply meets demand, you get equilibrium, the magical price where quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. Imagine you're selling ice cream in summer. If the price is too high, people buy less. If the price is too low, you run out too fast. Equilibrium is the sweet spot where buyers and sellers are both happy. Markets naturally drift toward this point, if left alone. But life isn't perfect. Sometimes prices get distorted. Taxes, subsidies, regulations, or monopolies mess with signals. A monopoly is when a single seller controls most of the market. They can jack up prices because competition is gone, and without competition, incentives break, prices rise, quality falls, and society loses out. Market failures and government. Governments often step in to fix market failures, situations where markets alone don't produce fair or efficient outcomes. Take pollution, for example. If a factory dumps toxic waste into a river, the cost of that damage isn't reflected in the price of the factory's products. The river is polluted, local communities suffer, but the factory doesn't pay for it. That's a classic market failure. Prices alone aren't telling the whole story. There are other examples too. Public goods like roads, national defense, or clean air are things everyone benefits from, but no single person or company has enough incentive to provide them on their own. Then there's information asymmetry, which happens when one party in a transaction knows more than the other. Buying a used car from a shady dealer is a simple example. The buyer doesn't know the full condition of the car, so they might make a poor decision even if they're careful. To address these issues, governments use taxes, regulations, and oversight. They can tax polluters, set safety standards, or provide public goods directly. But there's a catch. It's a delicate balance. Too much intervention, and you stifle incentives for innovation and hard work. Too little, and the market breaks down. Chaos reigns, and people suffer the consequences. Ultimately, government intervention is about nudging the economy toward fairness and efficiency, without destroying the natural incentives that make markets work in the first place. It's a careful dance, trying to correct problems while letting the economy thrive. When done well, people benefit, markets function better, and society as a whole gains. Economic growth and productivity. Zooming out, economies grow. Growth happens when productivity increases, and productivity increases when we get better at using resources, through technology, education, or organization. Better technology lets fewer people do more. Better education lets people solve problems faster. Better organization reduces wasted effort. All of this raises the standard of living, how much stuff people can access. But growth is rarely even. Some people benefit more than others. This leads to inequality. Wealth, the things you own, and income, what you earn, are not the same. Understanding the difference is key, because policies affect them differently. Government policy, fiscal, and monetary. Governments do more than just fix market failures. They actively manage the economy to keep it running smoothly. One of their main tools is fiscal policy, which is all about taxes and government spending. By choosing how much to tax and where to spend, governments influence the economy. For example, during a slowdown, they might spend more on roads, schools, or healthcare, putting money into people's hands and stimulating demand. In boom times, they might increase taxes or cut spending to prevent the economy from overheating. Alongside fiscal policy, central banks use monetary policy to manage the money supply and influence interest rates. Interest rates are basically the price of borrowing money. When rates are low, borrowing becomes cheap, encouraging people and businesses to take loans, spend, and invest. When rates are high, borrowing slows, cooling down economic activity. Then there's inflation and deflation, which are natural parts of the economic cycle. Inflation happens when prices rise across the economy, while deflation occurs when prices fall. Many people think inflation is just about printing money, but it's more nuanced. It's about the balance between the money supply and real production. Too much money chasing too few goods? Prices rise, not enough money or production exceeds demand, prices fall. In short, governments and central banks work together to keep the economy stable, encouraging growth when needed and slowing it when necessary. Their tools, fiscal policy, monetary policy, and interest rates, affect your daily life in subtle but powerful ways, from the cost of a car loan to the price of groceries at the store. Connecting the dots, the big picture. Let's step back and connect everything. Scarcity creates choices. Choices create trade-offs. Trade-offs lead to specialization. Specialization increases productivity. Productivity enables trade. Trade creates markets. Markets use money. Money creates prices. Prices guide incentives. Incentives shape behavior. And that, my friend, is the economy. Not charts, not headlines, not complicated graphs, just millions of human decisions interacting at scale. When the economy fails, it's usually because signals break. Prices stop reflecting reality. Incentives push people in the wrong direction. Information is distorted. Even smart people make poor decisions. Advance concepts with stories. Let's make it tangible. Imagine a small town. Sarah grows apples. John bakes bread. Anna sews clothes. Alone, they'd barely survive. But by specializing in trading, everyone eats, wears warm clothes, and sells excess to neighbors. That's productivity and trade in action. Then money enters. Sarah sells apples for dollars. John sells bread. Anna sells clothes. No awkward swapping. They can buy from anyone. Society gets more efficient. Prices signal action. Apples are scarce this season. Price rises. Sarah grows more next year. Bread is plentiful implies price drops implies John experiments with new recipes. Incentives drive behavior. High apple prices? Sarah works harder. Low bread prices? John innovates. Everyone responds to signals. Now imagine a monopoly bakery. John is the only baker. Prices skyrocket. Quality drops. Town grumbles. That's why competition matters. Enter government. Town council imposes rules, taxes, public roads, safety standards. Some hate it, some love it. This is market regulation. Over time, technology improves. Sarah invents better irrigation. John builds an oven that bakes faster. Anna learns faster sewing techniques. Economic growth happens. Standard of living rises. But inequality exists. Sarah's orchard thrives. Anna struggles. John earns okay. Policies, taxes, or philanthropy might redistribute wealth, but growth is uneven. Finally, inflation hits. Too many dollars chasing too few apples leads to prices rise. Interest rates change leads to borrowing adjusts. The economy self-corrects, or sometimes fails if signals are broken. Wrap up. Human decisions at scale. Everything we talked about: scarcity, opportunity cost, specialization, trade, money, prices, incentives, supply and demand, market failures, growth, inequality, government policy, is just humans making choices at scale. Economics is not about numbers, not about charts, not about politics or TV debates. Economics is about humans interacting with each other and the world around them, trying to get what they need and want, and figuring out who gets what along the way. When you see it this way, everything makes sense. The prices at the grocery store, why gas goes up, why some people get rich and others struggle, why governments act the way they do. Economics is life, distilled. And once you understand it, the world stops feeling random and starts feeling logical. You are not just living inside the economy, you are part of it, shaping it with every choice. And that is why understanding it matters. If you want to see economics in action in real life, track prices, notice trade-offs, think about incentives around you, start small, your own spending, your own time. And if you want a deeper understanding, there are incredible interactive tools, simulations, and courses to help you connect the dots even faster. Because at the end of the day, economics isn't complicated. Humans make it complicated. But humans can also understand it if we just look at the choices we make every day.